Hello, all right, guys. Second video of the night. I'm going to. Hi, how are you? How's it going? I'm going to start. I'm going to do a video, and somebody actually it's a comment that somebody did. It's about insecurity. It's funny, right? Uh, this topic seemed to kind of like hit a home run. I think I got 11 likes on that video. So, and a lot of views, over 600. So the algorithm was kind of like, yay, we kind of have a winner. Um, I don't know if I want to do more on this topic. It's like I'm a bundle of insecurities, but I really think that's fine, right? Because it's not developing a mentality. But anyways, let's go to the video and then we start going into it. Video is insecurity, inner fragmentation to inner unification. And this was inspired from a comment of his. I think, I don't know, his or hers. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't know if they explained what they were explaining how they struggled with insecurity and how they're not able to kind of like engage with people, women, men in general. I think it was a he who was talking about women, but how he's not able to like stand up and go talk to girls and all those kinds of stuff. And he said kind of like a journey, and he wrote it in a beautiful way, like inner fragmentation to inner unification. I Let's start. What do we mean by fragmentation? What is fragmented with us? Anyway, I think about it, it's basically if I were to go speak to somebody, I'm considering myself like a house, and a fragmented house is basically broken in different places. And our insecurities are more like, hey, welcome to the house because I'm exposing myself to you. I'm being vulnerable. But ultimately, what's happening is like I'm exposing myself, and the last thing I want is for you to kind of like laugh, right? I don't think insecurity is for me to be hurt, man. I think it has a lot more to do with uh, shame and me not necessarily liking some things. I took it this way at one point. I don't know if this is something harsh to say, but the things about me that made me feel insecure are really the things that I tried to reject for the longest time. And the reason I tried to reject them is because of the people around me. And so, effectively, wanting to get over my insecurity through them was what's causing my insecurity to begin with. It doesn't matter how kind hearted people are, we tend to want to hear things in a certain way, or see things in a certain way, or do things in a certain way in order for us to kind of like feel good about them. And so when that's basically all expectations. And it's funny because like you either expect something to happen a certain kind of way and you wait for it to happen, which has small odds, or you expect something to happen and you kind of like start doing it or doing things to make it happen, and these things are normally not happening the way that would make you feel good, because what are the odds? But there's something decent when you're actually like approaching it, and ultimately it's just the more kind of shit you do, the the easier it becomes for you to kind of like understand when it's feeling better and when it's not, right? It's not just, all right, so let me try to explain it this way. Uh, the first time I give you cake, there's always a first time for everything, right? I don't know if you remember, but you can watch some YouTube videos and you can tell people like when they're given cake for the first time, they're the kids, like small babies, their eyes kind of like swell and they go like, ah, I want it. That, for example, is a completely new experience. But I challenge anyone to eat the same cake over a week and tell me if it still gives them the same experience or not. What we're looking for is that experience. And so the first time gives us that experience. But is that really our flavor, or did it just open up a world of flavors? Is that really how we like our cake? How would you know how you like your cake? You can just sit there and be like, that's not the one, that's not the one, that's not the one. Or you can sit there and be like, oh, that one's better, oh, that one's not better, oh, this one's a bit salty, this is a bit tarty. And then suddenly you kind of have like those taste buds that distinguish between different flavors and different ingredients in cake. And eventually, like, you're a master of understanding what kind of cake you like. I feel insecurities are practically the same. Each one of them is, I don't want to sound like I've been on this topic before. All my topics are topics I've been before. But the inner fragmentation that we have, it's really the parts of us that we don't really know how they became to be. You know, it's like, do I remember the first time I went camping? No. I like camping though. Do I remember the first time I went hiking? No, I like hiking though. Do I remember the first time I went to a coffee shop and had coffee? No, but I like going to coffee shops and having coffees. But these things are not really important shit. Do I remember the first time I stopped trusting women? Actually, I do. But with me, with me, because there was this one chick, man, and like for a while it was like on and off, and then finally love, and then she left me for another guy who was a bit older and cooler and all that shit in the village, granted, right? Like it's still the village. But 1 year later, she actually passed away. So I went through all stages of life's depression with that chick. And so when she died because of a heart attack, man. I was like, okay, nothing was fucking resolved. So how do I deal with the rest of my life? I don't know. Fuck everything. Fuck everyone. La 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 la. Everyone's gonna die. Why make friends and all that shit? So it took me about 15 extra years for me to kind of like figure out this is a pattern that I'm doing, and then slowly kind of like trace how I don't know. It's like you require a whole lot of experiences when it comes to people in order to understand how their existence matters or doesn't matter in your life. And I feel most of the time when an insecurity kind of itches or starts becoming more prevalent, what happens is we stop kind of doing the things that give us that experience. And if somebody like can't speak to chicks, fuck it, don't speak to chicks. But you know that you can't speak to chicks. What is it about you that you're afraid they might kind of like see differently? Or what is it about you that you really don't want them to see, which is bringing out the insecurity, right? Then that's basically how it's 2 years ago, man. That was literally when I came back. I was like, I felt very vulnerable to everyone. Like everyone I said hi to, I felt like, please be my friend. And some of them were pieces of shit. But I was just in that state where I just didn't, any form of attention, I kind of like wanted it. And then I looked at myself and I was like, the only reason I'm craving attention is mainly because I've been avoiding getting attention for so long and giving attention for so long. And ultimately, like, giving attention to the people that I cared about allowed me to understand how to give attention to myself when I'm like not necessarily feeling well. And it's the whole how you listen to yourself and how you treat yourself and how you engage with yourself. And I truly believe like that's how our fragmentation becomes unification. Because it really doesn't matter if the house has a broken window. It doesn't matter if it has broken doors. It does matter if it has a broken roof, though. It does matter if its pillars are not really sturdy and taken care of and maintained. Broken windows, man, they're a design. They're a concept of design. We can go meet people and like you can fix a window and it could be like $1,000 something, and then you get married to somebody and she comes and she goes like, I don't like it. You're gonna fucking change it. I am sorry, dude. And just like it's vice versa. A lot of things that kind of like sometimes you invest in them for the sake of having them, and then you're willing to change them. But I don't think anyone's going to come to your house and be like, I don't mind the pillar actually not being rotten and the house almost crashing on us at any time. I think a big part of our insecurities is the fact that we don't want them to judge us based on where we are. And we don't want them to look at where we are and have that as a definitive observation from their side. But I think the day we actually notice that we are insecure is the day we overcome ourselves. And then from there, you kind of have the opportunity to either accept that you're insecure and live with it, hoping you'll find somebody that kind of like changes that, friend, family. Like, I still hope my family kind of like starts acting differently. I still hope, but I really like, I'm okay with them. I found a way. But as for everything else, nobody's going to fix your house but you, man. And it really doesn't need fixing. It just, once you notice the window is broken, and then slowly it just kind of like fixes itself. Everything else, all you have to do is just allow it. As beings, we are intricately designed from our mind and how it's connected to consciousness, to our spirit, and how it's connected to our body, and our body to our mind, and our spirit to our fucking consciousness. It's just like fucking beautiful. It's like we're a bundle of intentions. And literally all we got to do is observe. And most of the time, we don't have to do anything. Like, literally, next time, try it. Say, I want to go shopping. And then you realize your mind already has a plan and your body is ready to move. You don't do anything, they do all the work. So just observe, notice, and allow them, I guess. Insecurities, from inner fragmentation to inner unification. We are the reason why these pieces can get together. We are the reason why they're there. Maybe this could be another video. I'm gonna do another video on this. Why the fuck not?